All right, welcome everyone. My name's Carl. I'm going to take you through a short little spine segmentation tutorial. So what we're going to do today is just work through some basic things that you're probably used to, like some cat-cows, but with a different intention, right? Typically when you practice your cat-cows, the intention is big ranges of motion, big flexed positions with a nice rounded spine, and big extended positions with a nice arched spine. Today the intention is moving one vertebrae at a time. So we have 24 vertebrae that make up our spinal column, not including the sacral bones or the pelvis. So you have 7 cervical or neck spine vertebrae. You've got 12 thoracic and 5 lumbar. And just working through some cat-cows, we're going to try to get individual movement at each one of those vertebrae or bones. Now, what you'll find is this is something that's very difficult to do. It's not easy, but it's something to shoot for. It gives you a goal to shoot for, because you could practice this every day, and it'll still take years and years to actually be able to do successfully. But the work and the fun is in working to get there every single day and trying your best. So come into tabletop. What we're going to do is work through some cat-cows, but again, the intention is different. And one thing you got to think about when you're doing your cat-cows with spine segmentation is what your hands are doing. Okay, so I want you to come into your tabletop, knees under the hips, maybe a little more further up. Spread the fingers and then find energy through the fingertips. Now, as we go through our cat-cows, when we go up into our cat position or rounded position, with our spine segmenting, trying to move one at a time, you don't want your the plates on your upper back, your shoulder blades, scapula, you don't want them to round or go apart when you go up into flexion, and you don't want them to come together and close off as you go into extension. So we're trying to disassociate our shoulder blades from our spine. And the way we do that is as we go up into our cat, you're dragging or pushing your hands forward and your legs back, and it's slight. And then as you come into cow, as you pull into cow, you pull your hands towards your knees and knees towards your hands. And that just helps me really keep my shoulder blades still. So I want you to come into your tabletop position, spread your fingers, start with a neutral spine. Any position with the toes, I like to have them tucked under just to get a little stretch through the big toe mound. All right, take a clearing breath in and out. I want you to inhale, drag your hands towards your knees and start to lift your tailbone up. So your low back begins to arch and you peel your way up through that low spine, through the mid spine, the mid chest, the base of the neck, and then your eyes lift, inhaling. Keep your gaze up. Exhale, squeeze your butt as you tuck your tailbone under, pull the belly in, the ribs in, getting concave in the chest, and eventually chin comes down. We're getting 4 of everything today. So inhale, lift that tailbone up first. Keep the chin to your chest. Peeling your way into that extended position. Low spine, sternum, collarbones. The gaze comes up, inhaling. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone under, pull the belly in, the ribs in, and getting concave in the chest. Eventually the chin comes down. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, working your way up that middle of the spine, the upper spine. Finally, the gaze lifts. Inhale. Exhale, pelvis tucks under, belly button in, ribs in. Nice and slow, 8 to 10 seconds for every rep. Last one here, don't forget those hands. Pull hands to the knees as the tailbone starts to lift. The belly drops, nice and slow. Trying not to just move into the parts that you're easy to feel, but again, feeling out those sticky spots as you pull up into extension. Exhale, tailbone tucks under. Keep that chin up as long as you can, just moving the low spine. Really common, the hips want to jump around here. Try to keep them still. Rounding up into cat, and then holding in cat for 3 breaths. Tuck your tailbone, and this time spread the shoulder blades wide, so I want that nice protracted position in the upper back. 3 deep breaths in. Pelvis tuck on the exhale. 2 more, breathe it in. Establishing nice kyphotic position. Breathe it out. Last one, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. Exhale. Sit your hips back over your heels. Now we're going to work a specific cat-cow, so just targeting our thoracic spine or upper chest here. So sitting the hips back over the heels. The best regression here is, if this is hard on the knees, is sliding a block or a blanket or pillow right underneath, right between the knees, so you can sit back onto it. But if you're comfortable, sit the hips onto the heels. Hands come just outside the knees and a little bit in front. Your pelvis is going to tuck under, so tuck your tailbone and round your low spine, and you keep that position in the low spine. And we're just working from our thoracic spine all the way up, from T12 up to T1, okay? Same idea with the hands here. We'll start with a neutral spine, and I want you to inhale, pull your hands towards your knees, and start to extend from the middle of your chest first. And then working your way up, and it's very small motions until the gaze lifts. Inhale. Keep that low back still. Exhale. Start to round from the middle of the spine first. Working your way up towards the sternum and the collarbones. Finish with the chin to the chest. You got 3 more. Pull hands towards the knees. Extend from the middle of the chest. From the upper chest. No motion from the shoulder blades as your gaze slightly lifts. Inhale. Exhale, hands push forward, round that mid-spine, the upper spine. Slight drop of the head down. Inhale, pull your chest through. Extending nice and slow. No motion in that low back. Inhaling as the gaze lifts. Exhale, hands push forward. Start to round, push that. Trying to show the vertebra through your shirt. So poking your spine out like a dinosaur. And then inhale, pull the hands towards the knees as you extend and come forward. Inhaling once the eyes lift. And exhale, just push the hands forward, round the low spine, the mid spine, concave in the chest as the chin comes down. And come back to your tabletop. Let's get our lumbar spine cat-cows. From your tabletop, you lower to your forearms, turn your palms to face up, and drop the back of your skull right into your hands. Walk your knees up. This is very difficult here. This is a tough one. You got to round that upper spine. All right, keep that upper back now locked in that flexed or rounded position. Knees are nice and up close to the elbows. Initiating at the tailbone, getting 4 of these. Start in that rounded position, and then inhale. Start to extend, squeeze your butt. Peel your way up that lumbar spine, extending, and then tucking under. And again, being sure that you're not just getting motion at one hinge point where mine is. It's that T12 L1 area right in the middle of that spine. You want to start at the low spine, tilt it up into extension, tucking under, going into flexion. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tuck. Last one. Inhale, initiating at the tailbone. L5, L4, L3, L2, L1. And tucking under, squeezing the glutes, and working up into the spine. Sitting back onto the heels, let's save the work with just 2 global spine cars here. Cross your arms over your chest, big self-hug. Take an inhale. Exhale, chin sets down to the chest and round that upper spine and peel down into flexion. Gonna rotate over to the right. Drop your right shoulder. Extend, lifting up through your chest without leaning back. Drop your left shoulder. Rotate to the left. Flex and round back through center. Right into that second rep. Rotation to the right. Lateral flexion as you drop the shoulder. Extend your collarbone, smile as you lift the chest, drop the left shoulder, rotate to the left, flex and round through, and slowly segment your spine back up tall. Taking an inhale at the top. Exhale, chin to the chest, round through. Start high to low as you round down. Rotate to the left. Drop your left shoulder. Extend, lifting your chest to the sky. Drop right shoulder. Rotate to the right. Flex and round through. Last one, turning to the left. Drop left shoulder. Extend, you go low to high in the spine as you lift up through the chest. Drop your right shoulder. Rotates to the right. Flex and round through. And slowly segmenting the spine back up tall. Inhaling here and just pausing for a moment. Now you can do those those global spine cars in any position. You can stand all the way up if you have to, if it's sitting back on the heels is too hard. But just remember, guys, cat-cows is kind of where we start and where we stop, right? Spine segmentation is king. If you can't, if something's hurting in the neck, if something's hurting in your hips, right? Clean up that spine motion. If something pinching in the neck and the upper back, you want to work those T-spine cat-cows. Give more of a focus to those. If something's hurting in the hips or the lows back, you want those lumbar spine cat-cows. So you want to work the reps that your body needs, right? This kin stretch, this mobility practice, it's a constant assessment, learning about your body. So give your body the work and the love that it needs. Thank you all for practicing with me.